sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are recording. Haha. Hopefully they didn't catch my sarcasm comment about myself. Anyway. All right, guys. We are here with Pickins Quail. Do y'all want to tell us a little bit about yourselves?
I'm Brad, and we've been together for ever, and been married for
22 years.
22 years,
22
and been
years.
homesteading for, yeah, and we've been doing the homesteading for going on
About 3 years.
about 3 years.
3 years?
I've had a, yeah, I've had a life of farming, and in my background, my grandfather was a farmer, so I kind of got it in my blood. So,
What about
Yeah,
you, Nicki?
me too. Me too. I'm not originally, we're from Missouri. When I'm not originally from Missouri, he is. Growing up, my grandfather always wanted to be a farmer, but never was. But he worked at a grain elevator and had a large garden. So I grew up
Nice.
being in the garden with my grandfather
You grew up
and
around it.
doing all that stuff. So I grew up around it. Something we always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had small gardens here and there, but we rented most of the time, and it was
Right.
moving all the time. So then it became when we
So,
finally bought a place,
y'all went ahead and
got
did
a
it.
lot more.
Was
Yep.
it? I know you said you always wanted to do it, but did the whole pandemic situation push you a little bit harder into going for that lifestyle, or?
It was not just the pandemic, but also some health issues that came about for me.
Mhm.
And now I'm home. So since I'm home, I can do more.
You
I
have more
have that
time?
more time.
yeah.
So
Right.
that kind of gave the boost. It's like, oh well, if I'm going to be home, then we need to do this to,
Right.
basically save money in the long run
Yeah. You
and
you
have
can and
something
stuff
to
too.
keep. Yes, I do. I don't
Oh,
can a lot.
perfect.
Our garden's still a work in progress, but it is
They
something that
always
I've
are.
started doing. The very first thing that I ever canned was actually deer meat.
Really? Oh, you
So,
win. You win hard
I
right
mean,
away.
as far as pressure canning went. Now, I did
Mhm.
do salsa and stuff before, but just as far as pressure canning, I went all in and did deer meat right off the bat.
I finally did some deer meat this year, and I was happy with it. I was like, it was different, but I was happy with it. We usually just put it in the freezer, but I was like, I'm gonna try it. Can't hurt.
We
Let's
love it.
see. What I already know the answer, but for everybody watching, what's your current concentration? Is it the gardening, the prepping, the quail?
It's mostly quail and gardening. I mean, those two together. But
Right.
yeah, the quail, I would say poultry is our main focus. We have quail, of course.
So it started with the chickens and the gardening, and
Mhm.
then
I like the
I
chickens
fell
or the
into
guinea
some.
pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I always wanted chickens growing up. I wanted pheasant and quail, but I'm not good with paper trail. I don't keep track very well, so that's not a good thing for me. So we started out with chickens because we finally owned our own property,
Mm-hmm.
and then the gardening. We just have the place for a garden, and
Right.
I always like to play in the dirt. She always likes to play in the dirt, so we uh, we always have to tinker with the garden. Now with our garden, we're doing things a lot different than just
Mhm.
tilling up the ground and planting seeds. We do the woven weave fabric, which is a lifesaver because
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
uh,
We started
so
with
that's
that
new.
last year
It's
too, and it's such a
it's
lifesaver.
kind of new to us on how to pull it up every year, leave it down, rotate it, what whole,
Mhm.
where to put everything. We try to map our garden out, but our map kind of moves everywhere. So we kind of try to put our seeds, where it's easier for us because we have two different gardens. We have one out in way out back, and then we have one close to the house. So we try to
Mhm.
keep the one close to the house for the things that we can pick out of our garden and
Right.
bring
That
to
you
the
can walk
house
out
and
and grab.
prepare. And then the one out back, is for more. Okay, we go get the wagon and the baskets and a day of picking green beans and peas and
Right.
whatever else we need. And then the viney stuff, in a certain area and whatnot.
What zone
Uh,
are y'all in Missouri?
what zone?
Planting zone? Yeah.
I believe it's 6B.
Yes.
6B? See, I thought y'all would
I
have
believe,
been closer to like 4 or
I,
something, but y'all have all the snow. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I
But
believe it's 6B. I've
yeah.
looked it up a couple times.
But we started with the chickens and and always wanted the gardening and stuff. And it's all learning every year. We
Right.
learn every and and then we started with the quail because, well, I wanted the quail, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to try this?" And she found maternity quail, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we started looking at the health benefits,
Right.
and because I was falling into some pretty severe health problems, and it has seemed to help tremendously, and it
Mhm.
helps with Nicki. It helps her with uh, kind of her anxiety issues, and she's always had this deal with, I like furry things.
Mhm.
I like, to always have pets and always get the, kittens and the dogs. We've always had multiple dogs, multiple cats, and now that we have the birds, it kind of takes away from that, and now she gets to incubate all the eggs she wants. So she gets the baby
Yeah.
stage.
I don't know if you can
So now,
see behind me.
Yeah.
There's the
yes.
incubators there. And there's Lane.
Hi,
Hi,
Lane.
Lane.
Real quick.
You want to tell them hi?
Hi.
So you gotta come this way.
Hi.
Yeah, you can go grab one.
Hold
Hold it.
I'm gonna surprise him. Yeah, hold
Did
it
Dad
hard.
tell you to bring them?
Yeah.
Okay, hold it legs very good. You could stop by the camera with it too and show Miss Nikki, and Miss Brad. So Aaron brought home 3 emus this weekend.
He showed me.
So yes, I have my hands full at all times. Um, so
Yes.
back to what you were saying. It gives you something to do, something to concentrate on. Like I get that. Look, hold it like this.
Like this?
Yep.
That's our big one.
Hold those feet good.
How cute.
Yeah.
Come
I
here.
was just looking up how, because on the emus, we was like, how do you tell the difference between male and female? And I guess they do DNA testing.
Yeah, you can send in feathers when they turn about 4 months old, and they can DNA sex them through the feathers. So that's what we're gonna do.
Oh,
We have 3 of them, so we're hoping a male and a female, but you never know. We'll see.
right.
So I'm gonna ask this question to y'all separately because y'all probably both have a different thing. Nikki, what's the favorite? What's your favorite thing to do? Like, what's the thing that drives your passion?
I think it's hatching. Hatching is, I, I love hatching the eggs and seeing the different colors that come
Mhm.
out in my mixed color bunches. But I don't just hatch quail, I hatch turkeys and chickens and all kinds of stuff. So
Y'all turkeys have
we have
started
fun.
laying.
I have one turkey that is laying,
We just had one start
mm,
laying too.
and I was thinking that there was two, but I think there's just one. I don't know for sure. Sometimes I get an egg a day. Sometimes I don't. I
It's,
don't know what
they
she's
kind of
doing
do
out
it what
there.
they want now. Yeah, everybody's doing what
Yeah.
they want. And Brad, what's
Yeah,
your
I
favorite thing?
So for me, it's right now is when we get done with the sale, the satisfaction when they leave. Because every time we make a sale, and which is not very many, it's they come here expecting just the purchase and the satisfaction of so much more, the kind
Right,
of atmosphere we provide to
right,
them, the Facebook, the education, and the friendship that they leave with.
right.
the
I
You end
mean,
up with a lot
and
of
the
new
and
friends.
the
knowledge.
knowledge we do give,
Right.
it's not about money with us. It's
Hmm.
about the education.
Yeah.
Uh, when we go to QuailCon, that's what I mean. It was an accident that we became volunteers, and every year it's been more and more because
Right.
I like to educate. I've always been part of the young community, I guess
Hmm.
you'd say. Like I was a football coach, and I coached my kids, and I coached a year or two after them. Even when they were in high school, I stayed back and coached
Still coach the little
the same
kids.
kids I was the little kids
Right.
because it's that education that I want.
Right.
If they don't, that's what we have to do is teach our young.
He spends a lot of time talking to people one on one. I spend a lot
Hmm.
of time through social media or through text messaging or calls,
Right.
speak to people, because when you get from us, you don't just get the birds, you get whatever knowledge we can share with you.
And if we don't have the knowledge,
We point them in the direction
He
to get
wanted
the
he
yes,
wanted to
knowledge.
bring it back to show y'all. Okay, you can go pick him up.
I want to put the hat on top.
Sorry.
No,
We have Mardi
no,
Gras
that's
today.
fine.
Keep on talking.
So a lot of people who buy from us, I spend time speaking with either over social media or through text messaging, answering a lot of their questions. So they know
I think oh, I'm
when they
sorry. Go
get
ahead.
from us, they're able to reach out. When they get from us, they're able to reach out and then ask us whatever
Right.
questions come up.
Right.
So
And I think that's we're similar in the same fact. You and I both are more of the social media presence. I mean, Aaron is too, but he's more of the one-on-one, take you around the yard, show you, give you advice. That's more. He's the same way too. So I think that's why we get along so well. We, we like to be in the
yeah,
background, kind of doing that, and they like to be the face-to-face education, I should say.
yep.
yes.
Um, if y'all had to give advice to somebody just starting out, whether it was quail, homesteading, gardening, any of it, is there anything that you wish somebody would have told you?
For me personally, it's start with a plan. Have your plan, not somebody else's plan. Don't go by what you know your sister's doing or your neighbor's doing. Do what's best for you, and don't let anybody say it can't be done.
Yeah,
You will
I agree
figure
with that.
out you will figure out a way to do it your way and what's
Hmm.
best for you.
Yeah,
Right,
education. Research and educating yourself before you get going. That to me is a key thing. Don't be afraid to ask questions of people who are already doing it. Don't be afraid
right,
to talk to your local farmer. You know, stop.
right.
Lots of times, if you see them outside and you stop by and you ask them questions, they'll take time to talk to you.
Oh yeah.
Um, and
The older generation,
don't be afraid to challenge yourself.
yeah,
Hmm.
You know,
that's
I guess
I
is
agree
what
with
he's
that.
saying by because
so many times. Like here we've got really really good soil, but we have problems with seeding.
Hmm.
But you go southern Missouri or whatever, it's really
got a
rocky,
lot.
so it's different.
Right,
But you just can't say we can't do it.
right,
It's always
How can we do it?
it's how can we do it,
right.
and I won't be denied.
Right. And I like
If-
how you said go in with your own plan. There's probably do what you want to do. Because I look at it like they have that thing comparison is the thief of joy. And it's true because if you look at somebody else's stuff and you're like, oh well, I want to do that, but then it doesn't work out. You're like, oh, you're disappointed in yourself, even though you might have accomplished something that was fantastic. It's just not what you thought that you should do.
Exactly.
Right.
I
Well,
think
my
that-
mindset is if somebody's already doing it, it's being done.
Mhm.
So what can I do that's a little different
right.
to make it mine?
How can I do it that makes it work for me? Is
Right.
big. You know?
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. Social media is hard. That
It is.
I don't know
It
about
is,
y'all,
and
but
people.
I struggle with that part. That's the hard part for me. I can do the gardening. It's putting yourself out there. That's the hard part,
Right.
And y'all, we about to get to that part. Where can we find you online? I know, and I'm gonna share with everybody, and I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all website up here. Just a second. All right, so that's the website. And y'all do, in fact, ship hatching eggs at the current time?
We do. Yes, we are.
Y'all
We
do?
are MPIP certified, and we can ship hatching eggs.
Fantastic. And if someone's
not-
local to you, somebody's local
If
to you, they can
somebody's-
go ahead and schedule pickup?
Yep. They just
Yep.
reach out, schedule pickup for hatching eggs. Live birds are local pickup only. So
Yeah, we haven't gotten to shipping birds yet either. I feel like that, I don't know. if I
Well,
wanna go there.
right now, as you know, our hub, our postal hub in the big city is
Mm-hmm.
giving us
Oh, it's putting
problems.
y'all
So
all kind of trouble.
and we don't want to start a bad business like because a lot of
Right.
people don't understand like we do. They order something, they want their item. If they don't get their item, then it's we have to reship and reship and reship. So right now it's
Right.
kind of scary to be shipping a lot of different stuff because
most of our stuff that we send out goes through okay, but receiving stuff doesn't always go very well.
No, I know. Unfortunately, that we've seen that problem before. And then let me go ahead and I will share your YouTube page for anybody who doesn't go follow you yet. They can go and find you on YouTube. There you are. So, growing channel. So, if y'all don't follow them yet, y'all make sure and go check them out. And you can find videos of them actually on our channel too from QuailCon 2023.
yeah, our son just actually watched one of our videos from QuailCon last night.
Actually, I just opened a Rumble account. That video right there.
This one right here.
So that video is also posted on Rumble. I just opened that account, so there's nothing. That's
Do
the
you
only
have a
video
link
on
for
it right now.
that? Are y'all on Facebook?
Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll link the Facebook in the description. Is there anything else y'all would like to add? Obviously, if y'all want to meet Nicki and Brad, come to QuailCon.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So for us right now, big change is we just changed our internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're able to do this right here. Nikki's been able to work on our website.
Well, I
Oh,
should
good.
be able to work on the
Yeah,
website.
she should be able to work on, because we were getting,
Our internet's bad enough that we wouldn't have been able to do this interview if we hadn't have gotten new internet.
Oh, well, I'm glad y'all got new
So
internet. It's good to see y'all faces again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've been fighting the internet thing for since we moved here, and that
Mhm.
you ask one thing that I would do differently now is location. I love our property. We live
I
on a
think
flat piece.
location. I'm jealous of
No,
y'all location.
so I love our layout.
Yeah.
We have a flat piece of ground.
Hmm.
We can do anything we want here. We live in town, but we can do
We live on
anything.
the edge of town at the end of a dead end road. So we don't really
Okay.
have, there's fields on the other side of us.
Right.
So, but as far as if we want to do the social media thing, we couldn't do it because our internet was so bad. But
Right.
but now we look at we don't have a place to store like potatoes and onions, and we don't have a cellar, we don't have a basement
Right.
because the ground is we're too flat and we live in marshland.
Yeah, it gets really, really wet.
Feel
It
you.
gets really, really wet. Yeah. So
I
you
feel
know
you.
what we're dealing with,
Yeah.
and we're trying to figure out a way to build. We're YouTubing and looking and seeing how we can build a cellar above ground.
Hmm.
That way we can start doing some of the things that we need to do
Right.
Well,
on that aspect.
in location, we say location, but also is we are kind of in the middle of nowhere. Our
Hmm.
town is very, very small. We're not close to the big city. You're talking, 45 minutes or more to get anywhere close to the city,
Right.
which makes it a little more difficult getting your name out there. So, or getting
Yeah.
people to come to you.
I
So,
Yeah.
I definitely get it. We're about an hour away from like the biggest town, and then we're like 2 hours south of New Orleans. Everybody knows where New Orleans is at. They don't even know anything exists south. So I
Especially now,
feel what
right?
you say. Yeah, I feel what you're saying on that one. But now
Yeah.
that y'all have internet, y'all can get out there more. I expect to see more YouTubes now.
What are you doing?
Yeah. And she got a new camera
yeah.
that we're going to be playing with and learning.
Great.
Is he ready for Mardi Gras too?
We had a parade that passed at 1. Today was
Oh, did
today was
you?
the final day of the celebrations. Thank goodness. Because
How does that affect
nobody
you
knows what
guys?
day it is. Was that?
How does that affect you guys? I mean, that big
Um.
celebration.
Well, where we used to live, we lived right on the parade route for like 5 parades, so it's very chaotic. But we moved approximately 4 miles up the road from where we used to live, and now there's only one parade that passes in front of our house. So other than today, it's very quiet. He went down the bayou to my mom's house, and he went watch all the parades with her. Me and Aaron stayed here in the peace and quiet and just caught the parade today. So that's enough for us. We getting too
Yeah,
old. We getting too old for all that. Mm-mm. No.
because like for us, we don't do the party scenes. We don't
Oh
go
no.
out much.
We
No,
we
we're
stay
homebody.
home. We take care of our animals. We watch some YouTube.
Our going, yeah, our going out consists of going to our daughter's house
Yeah.
for the most part,
Yeah. Pretty
and
much.
our biggest trip of the year is QuailCon
Us too.
every year.
Us too.
That's what we
That's
prepare
it.
for every year.
Listen, I already
You
have
know.
the dog sitters lined up and everything, so
Oh,
Yep.
it'll be here before we
Did,
know it.
yeah. Did Aaron show you the video of our walkthrough, or of Nikki's walkthrough of our quail barn?
No,
I
he
sent it
didn't.
to him yesterday
I'll ask him.
because I thought we was going to be able to do it out there, but
Hmm.
weather dictated otherwise.
yes,
It's kind of chilly out there.
Yeah.
because I mean our setup is pretty decent out there.
Hmm.
It's work in progress. I mean, we add to it
Always.
every year.
It's always
We
a work in
started out
progress.
well. We started out with bird cages.
Hmm.
A lot of our cages were, bird cages. Until
I
we
think a
got our
lot of
first cage
people,
built.
yeah, I think a lot of people start out with a bird cage type setup for their first quail, and
Yes.
then
Well, we started out with a 3-tier we built.
Yeah.
We had them in a bird. We just had a few that we had in a bird cage,
Mhm.
and we built a 3-tier cage together. Now it's just a consistent matter
Add on.
of me getting more
Yeah,
cages built.
I
Yeah, because
understand.
Nikki does. I'm going to say 85% of all the pen building. All of
Really? Wow, go
yes,
you.
all of yeah. She has learned the trade. I mean,
Nice.
I'm great at it, and we use a lot of reclaimed materials.
yes, reclaimed materials is
That's the
a
best way to
must.
do it. Hmm. I agree with
So
that.
it comes down to a matter of me standing there sometimes just staring at it for a while. Okay, how am I going to make this work?
Yeah, and you
Listen,
have to
that was
tell her,
us
hey,
when we were building the greenhouse. No, it's pieced together, but you paint it all one color, you can never tell. It's
Yep.
yeah, you always have to tell her, hey, do not cut this board up. I need it for something. Otherwise, it's going to be a quail pin.
it's gonna turn into a cage somehow or another. Yep.
Yep, that's the
Man,
way it is around here.
you should definitely video next time you build a pin because I think that would do so well on YouTube. Because if I could build anything, I can guarantee you I would video it. I'd be like, look what I can make.
You can though.
You can do it.
You
I
can do it.
probably could, but listen, Aaron
Patience.
came. So I'm gonna hold whatever piece of wood he needs me to hold, and I'm gonna let him continue to be in charge of that, and I'm gonna continue to be in charge of the feeding and the watering and that part.
Yep.
So
Usually
it's
it
all a
comes
lot of
down
work.
to
It's definitely a team effort.
it comes down to okay, I need to move this, so I need your help. So,
Yeah.
Well, because the last 3 years have been pretty rough. I mean, pretty different for us because it started out. I worked third shift for years. It's always
Mhm.
been I've been a third shift employee, and then my health or my body says no, you're no longer going to be on third,
A
so I
third
had to
shift is
change.
very hard. It's a very hard shift to work. I
Yeah,
work third
so I
shift.
had to.
It's rough.
Yeah, my doctor said you need to change your lifestyle, so I moved to days. I finally got day shift, and then when I got day shift, we started working 7 days a week, sometimes 12-hour days.
And that's
So
not any better.
every no, not really. I mean, but it was better. I
Hmm.
mean, I was still able to do things here that I wasn't able to do on third shift. So,
Right.
and now that happened for a year, and now I'm on day shift. I work uh 3 days a week, 12-hour days. So I'm off 4 days a week. So now it's
Right.
like, okay,
every
not
year has been a change in schedule on how we're doing things, a change of
Yeah.
routine, and
Yeah. And
it's
that's
been
hard.
it.
I feel
Yeah,
like routine is very important. I like
it
yeah,
is.
a schedule, you know, and
yeah,
that's hard to adjust to.
It is, and I don't think he doesn't understand. I'm here all the time. Well, when he's here and he helps, then I'm like forgetting stuff.
yeah.
Right.
And it's because
Well, and the biggest thing is because when I go out and I do the feeding and stuff, I do it differently than she does. But when we
Hmm.
go out to the quail barn, I try to do it the way she does it
Hmm.
because that's her that's her kind of 9 to 5. That's her lifestyle. She's the one
Right.
taking care of 90% of it.
Right.
So I should do it the way she wants it done. Like we
Hmm.
color code, we have markers on each of the pens, what feed they get, what they are. That way, when we do have people taking care of our
oh,
animals, it's easy for them.
Yeah,
Right.
my feed barrels are color coded with the pens. That way, no matter who has to come in and feed, they can say, okay, this pen gets this food.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea because I was
So
thinking about how to label feed for specific things, but that's a
I
good idea. Color
just
coding
use
everything.
those little dots, those little like stick on dots you get for like using at yard sales or whatever.
Right, right.
I just use those.
I
And then
like
that way you
that.
can
I
just
might
peel them
have to
off.
try
And,
that.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's
because
really smart because I hadn't thought about that, and that's a really good idea. That would work because I was trying to
Well, it
figure
is
out how
because
I
you
could label the containers, but that's easy enough.
with the different age birds, you know, they get different food. You got the ones that are on 30, you got the ones that are on 22, you got chickens on 16,
you
you
got ducks on
you got
16.
ducks on 16. So, you know, you
Yeah.
got turkeys that get a mix. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's always
So
somebody that needs a special something.
mm,
how do you guys deal with rodent problems and predator problems where you're located?
We don't have too many predator problems. Every once in a while we have a hawk issue. And then when we do have that issue, we just don't let anybody free range for a few weeks and they'll leave. They'll find them and then as long as we keep everybody locked up for about 3 weeks, they leave, they move on to somewhere else. We did have a raccoon issue. We had a hatching time that was in our brooder area. Um, and that's the only pen that we had a raccoon issue with because it never occurred to us. We had never had a raccoon issue before. And then we had the hatching time, and then we discovered that there was a raccoon that lived somewhere in the area because we backed up by like they got a big field in the back and they have empty lots on the back of us that are just overgrown. I mean, it's trees and whatnot. Found out they could easily open those doors, pull quail out. So we moved that into our quail born, and then we tried live trapping, but he wouldn't come back. I guess the tuna fish was not enticing enough. Um, and as far as rodent problems, that's a hard one because sometimes we'll put out poison, but we don't like to because then I have to be on high alert to see if anything died because we don't want any of the poultry eating what may have died or been poisoned.
that's
You
like
know?
us. Like I put out poison before, but now we have a puppy, and puppy can get
Yeah.
into everything. So
Yeah. What I
I don't want to
with
put
us
poison
with the
anymore.
You
dog,
actually did.
yeah. That's why we have the dog. He'll come back. He comes in the chicken yard with us every day and he runs around. And obviously we don't want him getting into it, but there's our big son right there. That's one of our older ones. Come and hit the fridge. But other than that, we just try to keep our feed closed. We have more of a problem with squirrels eating feed than anything else. Squirrels ate through
Yeah.
the feed containers to get to the corn.
Yeah, because
But then
yeah.
it was
Well, we
squirrels.
don't have to worry about that too much because we have seven.
Well, we have
We have
7 pecan trees in our yard, so the squirrels will get in food if it's
They
open,
have
but they don't.
some. Whenever the oak trees have acorns, they don't really bother any of the feed stuff. But when there's no acorns, they hang out. Yeah, it's always something. You always got to figure something out.
Right. That's why I was asking, because that's the biggest problem we're having is with rodents,
I heard
with the
good things
mice. And,
about those those tops you put on the buckets. I don't know if you've seen them.
yeah.
I heard good things about it, and I think I would like to try those.
Well,
'Cause I
we've
think
caught
it's
them in
better.
our regular 5-gallon buckets because we never put a lid on our buckets, and we catch we catch a lot of, or not a lot, but a few of the mice.
Yeah,
And
inside those 5-gallon buckets, they can't get out. You'll go out there and go
Yeah.
to grab a bucket, and there'll be a mouse down in there. It's like,
And then that'll just
Because
scare the
in
hell
all
out of you.
but that's a thing
Yeah.
that I decided that I was not putting. We had egg rollouts on our three-tier cage, and I removed them because I was having issues with the mice getting into the quail feed through the egg rollouts.
Right. See, and we
But
don't have an issue with that I know of. There, Lord knows what happens at night while we sleeping, but
right.
Yeah.
you
So
know,
we removed all the egg rollouts.
mhm.
So yeah, we do have to collect every day.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's the biggest chore we have is probably collecting every day because we didn't. I mean, because our lights and our chicken coop and everything, we turned off over the winter to give them a break this
Mhm.
year because our chickens are older. And I was like, yeah. But we thought our Brahmas were gonna lay, and they didn't. So we actually went almost 2 weeks with no chicken eggs, which was okay because we do a lot with the quail eggs anyway.
Well, our
Right.
Brahmas decided to go into molt, which surprised me because they were first years. And usually
Really?
they don't go into a molt during the first year, but they did this year. I was surprised.
Yeah. I know you're trying to be quiet. I saw you doing the quiet movement. He was like, all right, well, guys, I am going to head out, go see if they had a good tour of the chicken yard. And then y'all gonna have
Yeah,
to
I
come
would
down
like.
here with us.
Yes, because I want to. We want to start separating our chickens. We've decided to do different types of chickens because right now we just have barnyard mix. All of our
Right.
chickens just run. And I've been
Have y'all
talking to
seen our
Aaron.
setup? Did Aaron send you a video of our
Vaguely,
setup?
yeah. When we first met, he sent me a video of his setup and stuff. And
I'll have
I
to
grew
send
up,
you another video. It works.
yeah,
It works real well to
and
keep everybody separate.
yeah, because I've got an idea of how I want to do a chicken coop
Mhm.
for at least 4 types of birds, but we'll see if it works.
I'm
We'll
sure
make it
whatever
work.
idea you have will work.
Yeah,
All
it normally
right,
works out.
guys. Well, it was good chit chatting with y'all. Sharp Pickins
All right.
Quail, Facebook, YouTube, website. Did I miss Rumble? You don't have much on there
Rumble.
yet, but you're working on that one.
Yeah, we're working
And
on
we can
all of it.
also we'll find y'all also in all the quail community in the groups.
Yeah, I
We're
try to
there.
hit most of them through the week. The only one I can't really get to now is Zach's live because I work.
Mhm.
I don't get home until
Right.
7:00.
Yeah, the
So,
group's
Right.
on Facebook. I'm usually there, but I don't get a whole lot of social media time in. I'm usually busy
Busy
answering
doing something.
questions or busy outside running animals or so
Yeah.
unless I'm
All right, my friends.
all right.
We'll
we'll
talk to you
Thank you.
later. Thank y'all for joining me. And I think y'all are going to be with Kelly tomorrow,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday. All right.
Supposed
So
to
we'll
be
make sure to watch. We'll make
Yeah.
sure to watch that one too. All righty, guys.
Thanks, Bill. Yes.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.